Goldilocks and the Three Bears by Jan Brett. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house on their own in a wood. One of them was a little small wee bear, and one was a middle-sized bear, and the other was a great huge bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge, a little bowl for the little small wee bear, a middle-sized bowl for the middle-sized bear, and a great huge bowl for the great huge bear. And they had a chair to sit in, a little chair for the little wee bear, a middle-sized chair for the middle-sized bear, and a great huge chair for the great huge bear. And they each had a bed to sleep in, a little bed for the little small wee bear, a middle-sized bed for the middle-sized bear, and a great huge bed for a great huge bear. One day after they made their porridge for breakfast and poured it into their porridge bowls, they walked out in the woods while the porridge was cooling. And while they were walking, a little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. First, she looked in at the window, and then she peeped at the keyhole, seeing no one was at home, and lifted the latch. The door opened before her, and in she went. How pleased Goldilocks was when she saw the steaming porridge on the table. The sweet smell of the porridge with roasted nuts, honey, and berries filled the room. It was so tempting that Goldilocks set about helping herself. First, she tasted the porridge of the great, huge bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. And then she tried the porridge of the little wee small bear, and it was neither too hot nor too cold. It was just right. She liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks sat down in the chair of the great huge bear, but it was too hard. Then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. And then she sat down in the chair of the little small wee bear, and that chair was neither too hard nor too soft, but it was just right. So Goldilocks seated herself in it, and there she sat until the bottom of the chair gave way, and down she came, plump, onto the floor. Then Goldilocks went upstairs to the bedroom in which the three bears slept. First she lay down upon the bed of the great, huge bear, but that was too high at the head for her. Next she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but that was too high at the foot of her too. Then she lay upon the bed of the little small wee bear, and that was neither too high at the head nor too foot, but just right. So she covered herself up comfortably and fell asleep. There she is sleeping. By this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough to eat, so they returned home for breakfast. Now Goldilocks had left a spoon of the great huge bear standing in his porridge. "Somebody has been at my porridge," said the great huge bear in his great rough, gruff voice. And when the middle-sized bear looked at hers, she saw that the spoon was standing in it too. "Somebody has been in my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle voice. Then the small wee bear looked at his bowl, and spoon was in the porridge bowl, but the porridge was all gone. "Somebody has been in my porridge and has eaten it all up," said the little wee small bear in his little wee small voice. Upon this, the three bears, seeing that someone had entered their house and eaten up little wee bear's breakfast, began to look about. Now Goldilocks had not put the cushion back on straight enough when she rose from the chair of the great huge bear. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the giant great huge bear in his great huge gruff voice. And Goldilocks had crumpled up the soft cushion of the middle-sized bear. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. And you know what Goldilocks had done to the third chair? "Somebody has been sitting in my chair and has sat the bottom right out of it," said the little wee small bear in his little wee small voice. Then the bears thought it necessary that they should make a further search, so they went upstairs to their bedroom. Now Goldilocks had pulled the pillow off the great huge bear out of its place. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the great huge bear in his great rough, gruff voice. And Goldilocks had pulled the cover off the middle-sized bear's place. "Somebody has been laying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in a middle voice. And then the little small wee bear came to look for his bed. There was Goldilocks sleeping peacefully in her long, shiny braids spread across her pillow. Little small wee bear just stared at her for a moment and didn't say anything. But then he cried, "Somebody has been lying in my bed, and here she is!" Goldilocks had heard in her sleep the great, rough, gruff voice of the great, huge bear and the middle-sized voice of the middle-sized bear, but it was only as if she had heard someone speaking in the dream. But when she heard the little small wee voice of the little small wee bear, it was sharp and so shrill and like her own that it awakened her at once. Up she started, and when she saw the three bears on one side of the bed, she tumbled herself off the other and ran out the window. Out Goldilocks jumped and ran away as fast as she could run, not looking behind her until she was very far away. And what happened to Goldilocks afterwards, no one can tell, but the three bears never saw anything more of her again.